Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition, episode of What to Read Today. First things first, I'm recording from my hotel room in Istanbul, and shortly in the next 3 to 4 hours, I will be flying out to the Netherlands, where I'm going to visit a friend before I head back to Australia. So, even when I'm on holidays, I still get to read, as you should as well be reading. I still get to read and tell you all about what I'm reading. And for today, I have been reading this book, and it is a book of on loss, multiple losses. How can one person have so much loss in their lives, as well as going through, or at least seeing their own death approaching? This is a book written by Mark Raphael Baker, where he talks about having to lose his wife of 33 years. Shortly after, he loses his elder brother. Shortly after, he loses his father. The difference is his father was already in his 90s, so an appreciated death, if you may. Then he loses people around him, and just shortly after, he himself is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The book I'm talking about is A Season of Death by Mark Raphael Baker. Very aptly captured, A Season of Death. I'm reading this book and I'm thinking, is it possible for this to happen to one family? Because it's far beyond Mark himself. Mark has written this memoir and he's written it within the days or months approaching his own death. So he is reflecting on his life, his past, and what it means to be facing your own death. What do I think of this book? It's so many things. I personally have always been curious about when people know they are about to die, what do they think? How does their mind work? It's similar to that phrase people keep talking about, live today as if it's your last time on earth. If it were my last days or month, I knew death is coming, how would I live? What goes through their minds of people in this situation as compared to there is an accident or it's immediate, you're not sure, and you just go. As I read through this book, a part of me felt really sorry for Mark, his family having to go through all of this death. He loses his wife of 33 years, and afterwards he gets to fall in love with another lady who is 20 years younger. At this stage, Mark is about his late 50s, early 60s. So he falls in love and gets married to Michelle. And in his early 60s, Mark, he gets to have a new child, a baby girl, with Michelle, his new wife. All through this, as you turn through the pages, all you're thinking about, at least I was, is the life of this child who has a father who is in his 60s. And then he dies, so Mark dies in 2023, having to grow up without a father and just even knowing how older or old the father was at the time they had her. But much more than that, all of this, I kept thinking, is this a better way to die? Not the age, but knowing your death is approaching. So you have the opportunity to say your goodbyes and, as they say, put your affairs in order. And for some reason, I felt this is knowing my death is approaching at some point might be a better way to go. I don't know. What do you think? A Season of Death, it's beautifully written. We get to meet Mark and his first wife, his adult children. So with his first wife, he has three adult children, and then he gets to have this new daughter with his second wife. And so the dynamics of adult children who have gotten married, who have their own children, and then they have a baby sister, a toddler. His background, his parents coming from during the Holocaust, all of that information we have presented beautifully in this book. I cried a few places. You know me already. I cry when I read these books. It's a memoir, and I always bring stories, or I enjoy reading books of people's life that were meant to go in one trajectory, and then in a flip, things goes the other way. Those are the sorts of memoirs I read and bring on this channel. So it's befitting that there are a few tears here and there. I enjoyed reading this book. It's a sad one, but it's not all sad. It presents death to you much more. It makes you pause and think. We will all die someday. That's the common fate we all share. The how and when we don't know. How would I want to go? And the more I have stayed reading this book or these sorts of book, the more I think I will prefer to go knowing my death is approaching, just to give me time to say my goodbyes, hug my loved ones, put my affairs in order. I think hopefully that happens when I'm almost 100 years old, but I do think it's a way to go. I would prefer. So, A Season of Death, a memoir by Mark Raphael Baker, and Mark died before publishing this book, and his wife and family ended up publishing it. So he wrote it just the last year approaching his death. He knew he was dying. So this gives you a very good glimpse of his mind and what he thinks of death and what he's experiencing. All the things he wanted to tell his baby daughter and his children. And yeah, you get to experience that in this book. So there you go. I need to get ready for my flight to the Netherlands. Anyway, until next time, next book, keep reading and keep well. Take care.